Clika Podcast would like to introduce from Affiliate Entertainment.
Yeah.
Episode 65.
Episode. Can I do that over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fucked it up. Sorry.
Can we rewind the tape? Do you have enough tape?
There we go.
We got our own Clika. Strong Clika. 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 That's all we got is Clika. 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 Can you respect?
Ladies and gentlemen, no mom.
Take 3. Damn it, Mino.
Ladies and gentlemen, Clika Podcast, episode 65 would like to introduce Affiliate's very own Chris One.
Yes, sir. Affiliate Entertainment.
Welcome.
What up? What up? Thank y'all for having me. Thank you.
Yes,
man.
sir.
Man, you're very
Good
welcome.
looking out, Mino. Good
I've been
little.
looking out a lot. I don't see shit, but I tried
Somewhere
to
out
see
there.
It,
Last time I was tagging, he looked out for me.
so what's up, Chris? How you been, man?
Man, blessed, and lucky to get here. It's a big old wreck on the 405, man.
Yeah.
It's
Really? In LA? No way.
all day.
On the 405? He said the car went off the freeway, or what was it?
Dude, somebody sideswiped, and one car was in the middle, and another one was on the railing, halfway flipped
man.
over.
Oh my
Damn.
Wow. I'm behind the ambulance.
Wow. I hope everybody was all right.
Blessings to them, man. I hope. I wasn't looking. I was just trying to get here. Like I got to get to the Clika.
You know you were looky-looing.
Nope.
Looky-loos.
Nope.
Sometimes you know you want to look, man.
Hell
Yeah,
no.
I
Man.
don't want to
If there's a big booty in the car, yeah.
hanging out the back.
I'm like, ooh, damn. I hope she's okay. But blessings. I hope they're all right. Blessings to all of them.
Asshole
thank you
fat.
for
You see it from the front.
All day, man.
I was turning into Imperial to Compton Boulevard, and I saw a homeless camp on fire underneath the freeway.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Damn. That's
That cold piece out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Remember we were talking about that one day? We were talking about like them firebombing their other.
Yeah, they'll burn each other's camps.
Yeah, they
Really?
will, right? They fight each other and shit.
Yeah, they're their own gangs. That could be a whole different podcast, but
Oh my god.
they have their own gangs and they attack each other and fuck each other's women and
Okay.
yeah.
Like Dirty Mike and the boys.
Bum
Pretty
fights,
much.
the
Bum
next
fights.
episode of Clika Podcast.
I know we should like have a bunch of bums in here, dude.
Just walking around
They
with
mind
the
if I smoke this
disinfectant.
here?
Hey, walking around with the disinfectant all day. Okay, go ahead and speak again. Okay, hold on.
Like,
Okay,
why is
speak
there a
again.
rubber on your mic? Oh my god!
Yeah, be sure to stand 10 feet away. Yes, thank you.
What
This
is
podcast
that
is-
smell, man?
Hey, so tell us about yourself, man.
Yeah, we're getting out of it. Getting out the rails for a
We're all
second.
talking about bums and shit.
I own a
man.
home in North.
He's like, I'm not a bum.
No, actually, man.
On a
What do you
very
do, man?
special
Tell
Clika
everybody
podcast.
what is about.
I
What is Chris
am
One about?
A producer for my company, Affiliate Entertainment. We are based out of North Long Beach, and we've been around for about 10 years in that area. And I've produced and mixed numerous albums. Our guy Mellow Kane was
That's
one of my
right.
first.
Shout out to Mellow Kane.
Yeah, man. First
Block Movement.
Yeah, man. This is one of the first albums that I did when I left Kansas and got here.
Ah.
You know, so did that one.
Saying Kansas anymore?
No, man. Not at all.
Especially North Long Beach.
All day.
Shit.
All day. But yeah, ever since then, I just finished a project called Mentally Ill with a young lady named Taz. She's straight out of Virginia in VA.
Wow.
And she came out here. We linked up off of IG. We did 7 songs out of the studio there. I produced 4
I think you
of them.
showed me one.
Yeah.
That's dude. Type voice. She
Yeah,
has
man.
a real signature voice.
Well, you know, she's a hell of a spitter, man. She's a beast, and she allowed me to do that record. And I just finished mixing the Prince, THS. His record is called Manifest Destiny. It's about 20 songs on that joint. Working on my record, the second one from Black and Gold. Black and Gold 2 is ready. I got about 20 tracks that I'm mixing down right now, and hopefully I get my man Mino on there
I'm
to do
with
some
it.
scratching. So
do
you
it.
know, it's going to be my chronic. You know, my Dr. Dre, my chronic. I'm going to get every bit of talent that I can on this one, and we're gonna do a huge rollout for the summer. So
Okay.
that's the plan.
It's
man.
gonna be your chronic, but you're gonna let me get a little hit of
You're
that.
gonna get a little
Yeah.
bit.
Just don't let it be your detox, man.
Never.
We want to hear. We want to hear.
Hell no, yeah.
It'll be the Kush.
It'll be the Kush. But yeah, that's where I'm at,
cookies out
and hopefully the website will be up, fully functional. Everybody can book time in the studio, and we got great deals and packages going on in there. Just become a member. I haven't gotten the domain name yet, so I'll send everybody here the link, and then we can promote it from that point.
Absolutely.
it's
But
gonna
right now
be
we can find you on Instagram, right?
Right.
Instagram at affiliate_ENT, affiliate entertainment, and we're just gonna grow, man.
Nice. How long you been doing this music?
Man, music has been in me ever since I could play drums. At my house, though, at my grandmother's house, there was a full drum set, an organ, a piano, guitars, bass. All of that was there, but the rule was you had to be good in order to play it. So I would practice at school.
Oh, okay.
You know, stay after school, play on the drum sets there, play on the snare drums there, and then go home and freak everybody out when I was able to drop
That's
a pocket.
dope that you were able to have practice somewhere else.
Who was there? Like who would be playing there?
Oh, my uncles.
Yeah.
All of them. I got 4 uncles, 5 aunts. My Aunt Marianne, rest in peace. She was the singer organist. My Uncle Joe, whom I oddly look like.
You look like Joe. You look like Joe.
Yeah, you look like a Joe.
If I showed Joe, a
Not the
picture,
average Joe, but definitely Joe.
he's the guitarist. My 2 uncles, James and Ricky, were my percussion instructors. So when we got together, we just got in, at the grandma's house, and we
Wood
played
shedding.
for our grandma all day.
Yeah.
Shedding was the thing, and at some point in my teenage year, I bypassed them, and they were waiting on me to come home to play some stuff for them.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
That's what's up.
It was a good look. Growing up, it was just music all day.
You shed it
Talent
off that
shows.
old skin like a snake. Came back and
Came back and did big things.
smooth and fast.
So just drums, or what else? What else did you
Drums, piano. That's mainly it. But I started on trumpet.
Really?
Oh yeah. When you're in grade school, they won't let you play drums right out the gate because everybody wants to play them. So
Right.
they force you to play a melodic instrument. So I went with trumpet, and I can still do a little bit on the trumpet.
Hit some notes.
A couple of things.
What about
Couple of
sax?
things. Can't do it.
No.
I have a lot of sex, but not sex. Sax. No.
That
I've tried
jazzy
it.
sax.
I tried it. I just don't have the
Lung capacity.
lung capacity.
Yeah, that's a tough
Saxophone.
instrument.
Yeah, it's rough. It's tough. Plus, there's a lot of buttons. I'm used to just the 3. The 3. I'm good.
You're more Miles, no Coltrane.
Nah, no Coltrane. Miles was my guy though. I was forced to listen to that as a kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my Uncle Joe was a jazz guy, blues, all
that's
of
right.
that stuff. So
What a terrible
he'd
thing
play
to be
those
forced to
records.
listen to.
Yeah,
Oh, Miles Davis.
I
I can't believe anybody would have to force somebody to listen to it. It's so horror. Listen to that
The
shit.
horror of Miles.
Please can I listen to it?
Because he talk like this. And why he talk like that? Because he's on cocaine. You need to leave that shit alone.
It's a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I would listen to that. And then when hip hop came around, that was it for me. I love Cool J.
What year was
Cool
this?
OD. This is, man, I'm telling my age, but I don't care. What was that? Damn it.
That's just me thinking. It happens all the time. Things
Shit
fall in
just
my
blow
head.
up.
Clown, loose screws and
Man,
whatnot.
I can't remember. When? I had a Ron G mixtape.
Or just who
BDP.
was that artist that was like, oh my god, this
Yeah.
shit blew me away.
KRS-One.
Yeah.
Nice.
BDP live.
Hell yeah.
I got that tape and broke that mug. I played it so much, I had to tape it again because I knew I was gonna fuck this tape up.
Wow.
You dubbed it.
But I
stretched
had
out
to
the
dub
tape
it.
and shit. That's
Yeah,
30 minutes to
I
turn into
had
45.
to copy it. I had to copy it, so I kept one at the house and I had one in the Walkman.
Oh shit.
You walking around. I had and KRS-One. That's where my name came from. Chris One, CRIZ1.
Oh,
Chris
shit.
One.
Nice.
That's my homage to that guy. You know what I mean?
man.
And just the lyrical content, the way he rocked the crowd, the way he embodied hip hop.
Right.
He made me study it. So now I'm a huge student of it. And
That's a tight
hip hop
story.
is
That's
the
fucking
thing.
hell,
man.
Shout out
That's
to
the best-
KRS-One.
Best teacher you can have.
Living legend. The
He's
teacher.
got a new one out. I don't mean to plug him, but
You just
Street
did.
Light. You have got to get Street Light. If you don't have it, go get it. It's classic boom bap.
You heard it here.
Lyrics all day.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
What is the sound of the police?
whoop, whoop, all day.
Depending on what city you're in, right?
But that's the one, Black Cop, Sound of the Police. Edutainment was a big one for me, but the main one was The Bridge Is Over. When you hear that, when you hear that, he's about to go in. But you got to catch the live version of that, because the way the crowd goes bananas on that, the record is dope. But you got to get the live version of when
there's a certain energy in that live version.
What do you think about the battle back then, though, man?
Oh, it had to happen, man. Battles.
It had to happen. That was
MC
a good
Shan he put all of Queens on his back for that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he was the only one that was brave enough.
Yeah.
To try to say for KRS-One. KRS was like, oh no.
KRS was KRS.
And he's still, KRS to this day is still waiting. He's still waiting on whomever can get it.
And I don't think anybody can.
No.
He's too dope.
Because he stays prepared.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Go get it.
Come on, KRS-One.
I dare you. I dare you.
How do you implement that into your music? Everything you learn from KRS-One.
Man, first and foremost, I deal with people that can actually spit. You know what I mean?
So you don't mess around with
I
fools that are
can't
barely
do
trying.
it.
Or
I've
whatever.
seen. I've been.
Come
in
on, man, put me
studios
on,
with
Chris.
cats.
Come on, man.
You can spit though. Come on, man. Come on. But yeah, I've been in the lab where cats are rhyming about things that they don't have, and it's hard to be motivated behind cats that are just in there talking about Beamers and gold, and they can't even pay the studio time. I appreciate the experience that I get from that, but at the same time, I can't build beats around things that I don't believe in. You know what I mean? So if you're a real rhymer, then we can sit and we can cook up. You know what I mean?
But you can't be in there talking about rollies, asking you what time it is.
You can't.
Yeah.
But
Yep. I know exactly
there's
what you
a
mean.
rule.
You know what I mean?
There's
Like,
a
come
rule
on,
in
dog.
hip hop.
Yeah,
I
you know
just
what I
barely
mean?
got that.
It takes a minute.
It's a little late. Your rollie's broke.
He's quick. But yeah, when that music, it was hard for me to transition over into the trap sound, the trap R&B soul, the trap soul, because I was so used to boom bap. I was so used to fat kicks and hard snares and samples that were original, or just playing it out on the keyboard. Interpolations, getting it all in and mixing it down from that point. It was just recently that I've dipped into samples that you get from packaging and all of that. Goes, thanks, man. It's just recently that I found samples that I like and building tracks around samples that are cool and all of that. But you got to get those cleared.
Yeah, that's a problem right there. And actually, a lot of people are getting away with it though, because they're not using it like before.
Exactly.
They chop it, or they just interpolation actually helps a lot.
Yeah, when you can actually play it and work it out for yourself.
You do
change
that a
the
lot?
key.
You
Oh
do that a
yeah,
lot,
You have to. Got to dig in the crates, find something interesting, and then try to play it out on the keyboard.
What do you use?
Me, I'm a Cubase guy. I'm a PC user, so I use Cubase 9.5. I'm about to move to 10.
Okay.
But that's what I mix on. I build tracks on Reason right now. Reason 10 is a pretty solid, and they're getting more
It's
solid.
very nice.
Yeah, Reason is dope.
Any hardware? What kind of hardware do you use? What did you begin on, actually? Let me ask you. What was the first thing that you started with?
You know what? I have a really interesting story. The first beat that I ever made official was on a machine called a Yamaha QY70.
What? The sequencer?
Yeah, they're talking about.
Right.
Holy mother.
I made a 25-track beat CD on that.
Nice.
And I sent it to this guy who was actually, his name is Ryan Darden, right? And I gave it to him. He was actually interning for LaFace Records.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I sent him the CD, and somebody was making a movie there, right? And they heard the CD and grabbed 2 songs off of that CD and called me while I was at work. Right? Yeah, I like these 2 songs. How much do you charge? I didn't know what to charge at that time. I just remember somebody getting 10 grand for a track. So I was like,
What
10 grand.
Okay.
Right? And he was like, okay.
whoa,
I'm like, I was like, who the hell is this on this phone?
That was way too fast.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
It's
I
like,
should have said
okay.
more.
Right. So after
So
a
you
long
quit. You died right after that.
no. Actually, I did
You walked
leave.
right out. Fuck it, I'm getting 10.
There was a rule on that. I actually had to leave the job and go up to Hollywood to the studio and sign all the paperwork that night. And I've only been at that time I was only in California for maybe a year, and I haven't driven on the highway. I was taking buses to work, right? Nice. And this is before the other building, before you and I started working together.
Okay.
Right? And so, long story short, it ended up being in a movie. And the last 30 seconds of the movie. His budget got cut, so he only took one song for $5,000.
So it was the last 15 seconds of the movie.
Right? There it is. But the weird thing about it is I had that little QY7, it was no bigger than a videotape. And I went into this room that Michael Jackson had recorded in, John B had recorded in. I was on the elevator with Nokia from Cisco's group, whoever that is. I'm on the elevator with these people that I recognize and don't know the group. But I go in there.
Face somehow, right? Yeah.
So I'm in there with my little machine, and he's like, "Okay, where's your laptop?" I was like, "I don't have a laptop. I have this thing." He was like, "You made this beat on that?" And I was like, "Yeah." So we plugged it into this gigantic SSL. The beat came out, and they were looking at me like, "Holy crap!"
No shit.
That shit bang, right? You got more? And I was running through them. He was like, "Oh shit, that's dope too." So what little bit that I had at that point, I twisted that QI70 out so much that to this day the buttons don't work. I was building so much music on there, you know. So I'm in the SSL, the movie gets made, I get my $5,000, so I'm like, I'm official, I'm a producer. So everybody, $5,000. Wow. And that's when the phone stopped ringing.
What?
When you put price tags on stuff, man, they're like, "I'll get back to you, man. I hope you'll be, I hope, good luck." Wow. So then I had to bring everything down, but then I built my studio. And I started grabbing local talent. And then also my boy Oso California, you can follow him at Oso California. Yep. Yeah. He came in, we built Black and Gold. I found my guy Cito, that's Old Man Cito. He did a track. Man, the reputation of me making music blew up from there. And I was dealing with local talent. So
these are all Long Beach cats.
Long Beach cats. Shout out to Prince. And from Oso came Prince. From Instagram came Taz. All of these people. And they all came into the studio and we started cooking up, man. And it was just, it was a great feeling to be, locally known on that level. And, I'm a Dre disciple. Dr. Dre is the guy that I study. So the music has got to be clean and it's got to be punchy. It's got to be punchy.
And it's got to be dope.
It's got to be dope. For real.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong. Let
me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
When I look at Instagram and I dig for music everywhere. When I look at Instagram, everybody has that moniker, the producer. Everybody's a producer on Instagram. Now, you being an actual bona fide producer,
thanks.
What's your role in music as producer?
There are two ways that I look at that. A producer that handles a budget and a producer that starts from scratch and builds a beat around a certain artist, right? Producers have to be able to manipulate a sound that moves the parties that are interested, right? So if you're producing a track and you're starting from the beginning, it's important that you know who you're making that track for, right? Beat makers can go all day. They just lock themselves in a room, make whatever they feel, put it on a CD or put it on a website or SoundCloud and give it to the masses, and then 30,000 people will listen to the same track. But when I have an artist in there, I'm trying to build around what they want.
So it's tailor made.
It has to be.
It's custom
when you're
made.
doing production, it's tailor made. It's for that person.
So you're making beats is one thing, but production
is
being a
a
producer,
totally different thing.
You're tailor making something around an artist.
And then there's another term, executive producer, which actually comes up with the money and the studio time and promotes it.
Yeah, they're the guys that make everything happen. They get the producer, they get the studio time, they get the food, they get the runners, they get the microphones if they're missing something. lock in the SSLs and make sure all that stuff is working. But the producer is in there trying to get the feeling. He's trying to get the vibe right.
There's a producer, there's the executive, there's the top shelf, there's the I thought I was at a weed shop, my bad.
Come back. Then you have the super producer.
So yes,
who takes
executive
half
and
your
regular
budget,
producers. Yes.
Yeah, super producer is another thing.
Don't forget the Clika producer who just sits here.
Yeah, and
Oh, there's
And nods
another kind of
politely.
producer.
yeah, for sure.
No.
I love these
true.
He
questions.
puts it together, he's the same thing. He actually puts it all together, and we show up. We're like the rappers that show up to the studio.
Yeah, man. Y'all get it.
That was a great analogy.
We just
That's
had
exactly how it is.
We just had that conversation about what he was talking about, how your artist that you're working with right now,
Yeah.
and how he wanted to do it one way and just build on your beat instead of the beat building around you. And we're just talking about that.
Exactly. We just pretty much sat down and said, okay, I want to let me hear you.
Yeah.
He heard what I had,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, I'm gonna cater it to you. I'm gonna arrange it for you.
Right.
So he showed up, and we arranged the song around him.
Yeah.
And then the next step is to go to the studio, because we were in my studio, but in the
Yeah, yeah.
pre-production.
Yeah.
So then we go to the studio and actually make it happen.
Yeah.
But pre-production is always very important, I believe.
Oh yeah. You have to know. You have to build your map.
Yeah.
You got to know where it's going to end. So when you get there, it's flawless, and studio time isn't wasted.
Yeah.
You go in, do your thing. You said you was going to do this in the beginning, man. Let's stick with that. So the game plan rarely changes, but sometimes it can go a different route. You're like, I hear this thing. It's like, dang, now we got to go back to pre-production and remix it.
Right.
Drop a little sound in there that they wanted. Then you go back in and lay it down.
So first plan the work, then
plan
work
the
plan.
work. Yeah.
Write
man.
it down.
Plan to win.
Take
Yeah.
notes.
Yeah. So when the record is ready and it's hot, then it goes out to the masses, man.
Do you ever make beats or produce while they're there with you? You know what I'm saying?
had
Like some
just-
people just show up and go, show me what you got. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's built around that.
Yeah.
But some
I-
people just actually sit there and listen to you make a beat and sit there and write while, because didn't you tell me some people was writing while you were making beats?
Yeah, and I've just recently started doing that because I felt like I was becoming a beat maker instead of a producer. I wanted people around so I can, if someone was sitting behind me and they're writing and their head is bobbing, you got something. You know what I mean?
You ever turn around? Hey, let me hear you that. Let me hear what you got. Like,
Oh, all day, man. They're
To
like,
see
put
what
that
it
back
sounds
up.
like.
Last night, me and Oso was in there cooking up. We was doing something just totally different. And I didn't think he liked it. I just played it. And he was like, oh, shit, go back to that. So we ran it, added some more horns, and this, that, and the other to
that's
it.
tight.
And it just started to build from there. And he laid down the hook for another remix that's coming out.
That's
too.
when the
So-
juices start flowing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? The creative juices.
Oh, yeah. And the liquor.
And you
helps,
spark
too.
something in some people.
And the liquor juices.
Always helps. No, it helps. Spark
All right,
something.
yo.
What was that?
The difference between your own music and a music the music you work on with an artist,
Yeah.
how does that differ? I mean, do you draw from the same influences from when you're making a beat?
I try. There's one thing I think I'm pretty good at is being open to other sounds. I used to hate mumble rap. I used to hate trap music, but I'm like, I gotta find a happy medium in that. So when someone brings me an idea and they go, I need it to sound like this, I'm like, okay, I'll do my best to make it sound like that, but I need to put me in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
I
yeah.
don't want to copy everybody. I want someone to say, okay, just because that snare sounds like that, that's Chris. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? That kick, that's Chris.
You
know
want
what
to?
I mean?
It's like you don't want to spit it verbatim. It has to be
Yeah.
paraphrased.
Yeah, you gotta
I'll
throw your
give you
You know
what
what I mean?
you
Like you
want.
have to put your stuff into
Yeah,
it
you have to.
somehow.
I'll give you what you
Put your
want, but
flavor
you
in it.
came to me, so
Right.
I've got to give you some of me in this.
Like a little signature sound.
have to. You
Like if
have
you
to.
hear like U2, like U2, you hear the Edge's guitar,
hear it.
you already know it's a U2
you
song.
already know. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like that's awesome.
Yeah. You want to get that signature, so that's how they find you.
And then people fall in love with that sound.
Yeah.
Because I remember like Tripod Quest, Midnight Marauders, the drums.
Dilla. Oh my
The
God.
drums, they always sounded almost the same. And you hear a track, you're like, oh, I know who produced that. I know who
That's
that.
snare.
I know who that is.
I mean, you being a DJ,
And
you like that's there.
You
You
fall
know?
in love with that tone, that sound, something
Yeah.
about it, and then you hear it again, and it takes you back. You know, back to when you
It's
listen
a
to that
beautiful
music.
thing.
The lo-fi.
Yup.
It's like Dr. Dre's sound. Dr.
Yeah.
Dre sounds like it's in his layers.
Yeah.
The way he layers a song,
Yeah.
layers a track with different
Sonics.
Yeah.
Sonics, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a feeling that he gets. He works completely off of feeling. If it doesn't
Yeah.
feel right, that's why Detox didn't come out. Shit didn't feel right to him.
So he didn't do
You
it.
know, Didn't do it. He was like, I wasn't feeling it.
He's like, I don't.
But
like
he'll
detox.
never make a statement like that again. You know, I know that. He was like, nah. If I'm gonna do it, that's why he dropped Compton on this so hard.
Yeah.
You know, he was inspired by everything, and then Compton drops, and I listened to that, and I had the ultimate pleasure of talking to Focus, one of the guys that was on that record, and you know, we were talking about the clarity of Compton, and to this day, Focus is like Focus 3 dots if you want to follow him. But he was like, it's too bright. They mixed it way too bright. And he said him and Dre were going at it, trying to figure out how to get it to sound right. But it's just so clean. Everything on Compton is clean from the beginning to the end. It's so clear and it punches. And that is my ultimate goal, is to get to that particular level of sonic sound. When it's clean and it punches like that, you recognize it out the gate.
You even straight out of Compton sounded completely foreign from anything else that was coming out at the time.
That SP12.
Just the sonics alone. Yeah, it's the SP12.
1200.
The dirtiness.
The sonics alone was just amazing.
Yeah.
I was listening to like a 90s hip hop mix.
Yeah.
And they had like, you know, just different artists. And then when NWA came out, my speakers sounded better.
Yeah,
they do.
That's what he does.
No, it does.
Basically,
it happens, man. You don't even have to adjust your shit.
It's like they put Windex on that motherfucker, you know? It just cleaned it right up. It's all clear, like you say.
I miss, you know what I miss? How they used to incorporate DJs cutting and stuff in and out. Because Ren used to cut in and out of that all the time. In and out, in between. You know what I mean? Like throughout the songs. And now you don't hear it. You don't hear it too much. Do you incorporate, like, besides, you know, having me cut on something that you want to cut on? But do you like to incorporate cuts in that?
I plan to. And some tracks that I've worked on, I've taken little samples of scratches and tried to mimic a DJ because I couldn't get a hold of you at the time. But, you know, you got a new number now, right? Yeah. It's on, right?
It's new and improved.
Okay. But yeah, I've always loved the DJ Premier of scratching and taking a quote and doing that. I did that on Black and Gold. I actually found a sample on YouTube when the whole riot thing was going on. Oh, shit. And there was a whole, it's called Coke White, if y'all want to listen to that, from Black and Gold. And it was just a whole series of things that were happening during that riot. I can't remember the name of the place, but they were throwing tear gas and all kinds of stuff on these people that were marching. And I took that whole sound and I put it in a song, and it was reminiscent of Ice Cube when he would cut in those little sounds of you know,
Injection.
Yeah, Lethal. Actually, it was the first one, America's Most
Wanted. That's right. Yeah.
That DJ Pooh, right?
Yeah,
DJ
DJ Pooh. I actually met him again.
He's the homie. Shout out DJ Pooh.
Yeah. But little elements like that bring me back to what got me into hip hop and making music. Those are little things I try to incorporate all the time. You know,
keep that boom back.
I think sometimes you don't even have to try because it's in your blood. Yeah. You know,
I love it though.
It's in you already. So you're just sweating it out. You know what I mean? You're just kind of pouring it out.
But I'm also trying to influence a lot of these rappers that come by and they're young and all they know is the stuff that's on SoundCloud, the beat makers that are making the trap music and the fast hi-hats and the half sounds and the heavy 808.
And the clap.
Yeah.
The clap.
You let them know where the 808 came from.
I'm like, dude,
why they call it an 808?
You just gotta
stop
and
play
go,
you this, you know. And they're like, who the fuck is that? And I'm like, oh my god, get out.
Yeah, like get out.
Just say Gucci Gang once. You don't have to say it a bunch of times, just once.
Oh god,
that's what I always noticed.
I heard you twice the first time.
Yeah.
That's why I always noticed is like once something drops, everybody wants to sound that way. Everybody wants to hit that sound. It's like you gotta be creative.
That's
man.
the curse right there. Man.
Yeah,
in every music, every genre.
Why do you think that is, though? Why do you think that is? Why do you think that now? You know, back in the day when it was considered biting, and that was like a cardinal sin. Why today is people want to sound like everybody else? Is it because they want to achieve that level of success and go that same route, or why do you think that is?
It's kind of a two-part answer for me. One, a lot of rappers can't remember anything that they're saying live anymore. Mm-hmm. They get up there and say the same shit because it's easier to say Gucci, Gucci, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci, and let the crowd rap, right? But they'll never remember 16 bars. No. That's why there's only 12 or 10 or maybe 4. Yeah. And then the track takes over, right? But when you get a real spitter in there and they got 16 bars, say a J. Cole, who's been doing it, right?
Yeah.
His live show, beginning to end, nothing but rhymes. But you get somebody else that I don't want to say their names, but anyway, you know who they are.
Drop them.
They show their limitations, right?
They're limited in their memory
limitations.
capacity because one, they can't freestyle, so they have no space for it. So they write these goofy words down, or most of them don't even write it down; they just record it.
A lot of drugs.
And then they have the engineer drop it in a million times. So when they do a live show, which is the only way to get paid nowadays, is to do a live show because streams don't pay you. There are no budgets for records anymore.
There's no record label.
And there are no record labels. They're out there, but they're not pouring into A&R development. They're not doing marketing, none of that, right? So they make you do a single. If your single takes off, they'll have you do a body of work. If your body of work tanks, you're off the label, right? And there are a couple examples of people that you haven't heard from since they made their single, right? And
shout out to Little Xan.
A lot of littles. The littles are
All the littles.
that's what I'm saying.
Peace, man. Peace.
But that's the thing. They're trying now. They're actually trying to redevelop and write and be a little bit more upfront as hip hop artists, not just rappers. But it's budgeting now. That's the thing.
There's no room for artist development anymore.
They don't want to because they won't listen.
Yeah.
Who are you listening to right now? Who are you feeling? I mean, you mentioned J. Cole.
Oh my God.
Are there any other cats that you respect? He's dope as fuck.
Yeah.
Who else you listen to that you could respect?
Whew. Out there right now?
No, like yesterday.
I
Yeah,
can't
you
even
know,
think of yesterday.
currently.
Can't even think of yesterday.
yesterday.
You see, rappers can't remember nothing.
You see,
Producers can't
rappers,
remember nothing.
yeah,
But
producers
see,
can't remember.
we know what we get it. No, you don't even have to think about it. 'Cause
I can't.
I think there's so many.
I barely listen to the radio anymore. For
But
real.
what do you listen to when you?
That just means you're a busy motherfucker.
Man, the new Eminem just dropped.
Yeah,
Right?
I heard that was good. I
Oh
haven't
my
heard
love
it.
it.
God.
I love it.
Oh my
I
God.
had to share it
Oh,
to everybody.
man.
It's a good
Listen
one.
to that, dude.
I'll be right
Listen
back.
to that.
Yeah,
Go
it's
do it
pretty
right
good,
now.
man. It's pretty good.
You know what I was listening to the other day?
What?
And shout out to my daughter. She's 17, right?
Right.
She loves Kanye West.
Okay.
So every morning we pick an album to ride to. I drive her to school. So every morning she picks an album. And she's been on her Kanye from 808s, College Dropout, Graduation, everything. We've listened to every Kanye record. And her favorite one is Kanye. So I'm listening to College Dropout. I'm listening. I just got done listening to American Gangster, Jay-Z, right? And that's what I'm on. I'm listening to things like that. I try to listen to the music nowadays, but I can't. It actually disturbs me when I'm driving. I get angrier. I'm already angry because I'm in the car going slow.
In traffic.
on the 405.
On the 405.
Going around accidents.
Going around trying not to looky-loo, right? So
You know you were doing it.
I get off that. I get on the streaming service that I'm on. I'm not gonna say it because they don't pay us.
Right.
Anyway, I get on that
He was
and I
listening
pull
to
up.
the Clika Podcast.
I pull up Jay-Z. I pull up Biggie. I pull up J. Cole. Eminem's new one. I go back and listen to Scott Storch's old stuff. I listen to Pharrell. I listen to.
Timbaland.
I'm on my Jay Dilla right now. I'm listening to
Say no
Donuts
more.
like
I
crazy,
can
right?
Say no more.
I think you can
So
listen to anytime.
I am basically digging in crates and listening to things.
It's always a good time for
that
donuts.
bring me back and help me develop the sound that I want. I'm staying in my lane with the traditional sounds that I choose. I love boom bap. So if you call me and want me to make a beat,
gonna
just
have
know
that
that's
in
gonna
there.
have it in there.
Grimy
You know,
shit.
it has to.
Staying true to your roots.
Gritty.
I have to.
And I
man.
think that's the difference too, because I noticed what you're talking about is that you can't listen to it because you can't
Cannot
listen to
listen
that
to it.
kind of sound.
No.
I'm more of a 95, 94 BPM.
Yep.
And I cannot get into that 72, 65 BPM that they're doing nowadays. I need to be up.
Yeah.
So when I hear that slow, it's like,
Yeah.
I feel like they're pulling me back, man.
Do
I
you
gotta
feel
keep going.
trapped? The
He
dad
stays
jokes
ready.
are strong with this
Stays
one.
ready.
I think he had that one set up
The
since the
dad
get
jokes
go.
are strong with this one.
But that's me. That's my
Yeah,
personal
yeah.
thing. Like I need something uppity, you know, just
I-
like with
and I
some
agree
grimy
with that.
drums, you know, some crazy ass grimy
Something
shit.
energetic.
Man.
Some snares. I don't want to hear claps. I'm tired of hearing claps. You know,
Right.
that's back
I'm
in
just-
the 80s, and I don't want
You'd
to.
rather hear applause.
And plus, one thing I did notice in the past 7-8 years that they don't use bass lines that much anymore.
Nope.
Oh,
It's all 808s,
It's
man.
all 808 and
Yep.
snare, and the bass is the soul of the song,
and it's all dry, huh? Like
it's
you
dry,
hear,
so
like,
you don't feel it. It's like it's just. I want to hear like some horns. Yeah,
shit.
I wanna hear some horns,
some melodic,
some melody shit.
something. You know what? Every now and then someone drops something, but you're right. The majority of the beats are coming out right now. It's just all
bass.
dry.
It's
All the new stuff kind of like
It's four
sounds the
instruments.
same. It's
It
like the
is
same
exactly the
cesspool,
same.
man.
It's 5 instruments.
It's
okay?
like they all borrowed the same drum machine. Like, and borrow it next week.
Yeah.
I got you
It's
some
no.
facts.
What it is a
They all
kit.
made it the
Everybody's
same.
buying the same
They're using
fucking
the same
kits.
sounds, yeah,
Same
that's
kits,
what I
same
mean.
templates, and that's it. And that's a hit. Oh wow, everybody.
Presets.
I remember
all it is.
listening to the Blowout Comb. And
Diggable Planets. Shout out.
Yes, sir.
I thought that was the fucking future, and
That
that
shit
fucking
was sick,
hip hop
right?
was limitless.
Yeah.
I thought that it was just gonna get better and better and better, and it did for a while.
Yeah.
It did, and until like fucking Lean came out, and then everything got all fucked up.
It's
Well,
true, man.
You know what? There's got to be a formula. I mean, and you as a producer, do you ever think about that? Like how you were thinking, I got to incorporate this new style to my boom bap influence. Have you found it? Have you gotten close? Is there like
On
any,
this
what I mean?
second record, on Black and Gold 2, I think I found it.
Yeah.
I have found some samples that sound like a trap song, but I have managed to go to my snares and my kicks and my hats. And with reason, one of the things that you can do is you can put an effect. We were talking about bass guitar and having a bass line in your songs. It's important for me too, but I kind of make it grimier by putting a buzz sound on there and making it just a little bit longer in the sound, so it almost sounds like an 808, but it's got that real,
It still
guitar
has that
sound
feeling in
to
it.
it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think I found it.
So you're gonna trap the trap listeners,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
your music.
Into
So what you want to do is set them free.
Do you ever
with the
play?
trap.
You ever play like
Taking
live
angles.
instruments? Are you
Taking
incorporating any live?
not right now.
No.
There are no budgets for live instrumentation. The people that I rock with, there are a couple of guitarists. There are some bass players, but they're busy. They're on the road playing behind major stars, and I just left a job talking to a couple of them, man, and they just stay busy. So I'm stuck on my reason, but the sounds that I have are as close to authentic as I can get it. And being that I pay a lot of attention to detail, I want it to sound as natural as possible. So I don't quantize a lot. I don't square it up.
That's dope.
I keep it as loose as possible so that it has a real feel to it.
That's
That delicate mentality.
Yeah, I can respect that for real.
Man. Yeah.
So do you have like the MIDI controller with the keyboard and
Oh
everything?
yeah.
all that.
I've got the controller with the padding, but the quantize and the tightening up of it, I try to leave that alone.
Plus, you don't need it. You're a drummer.
I'm a drummer.
Yeah, he don't need
My
it.
pocket is okay.
That's right.
It's okay.
He
You
got the
ever-
pocket in the bag.
You ever work with like any samplers like MPCs, SP12s, or anything like that?
Oh man, I did not have a chance to really learn how to use an MPC. I wanted Mino to teach me, but he was always busy.
His phone never worked.
It'll never work. But with the invention of the laptop, I'm able to chop a few things and mimic that, and trigger some sounds, get the loops right, stretch them out, make sure they're in timing. So
What
I am in
controller do you
practice.
use? You use a controller, right?
Yeah, I've got the Akai.
The Akai?
The
MK?
49.
The MK?
Oh, the MPK 49?
49. Yeah.
Not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got the pads, it's got the little thing, but the software on Reason, helps your workflow a little bit more to where you can chop and move things around.
It's awesome.
faster. It's faster too.
Absolutely faster.
We want it to
edit
be
Chris out
real,
completely,
man.
Dick.
Let me ask you, man. Did you do you dig like records? You sample from records anytime? Or
Man,
have you?
It's dangerous to do that because the record will never come out, especially nowadays where you got the YouTube police and all of that. As soon
They're
as you
super
put
now,
something
yup,
out,
they're
they
all
will
crazy.
yank it off that. And I've done a couple of songs
Yeah.
where I put them up and I get the little thing. It's
Yep.
gone.
And then you
Like,
could
oh,
get
shit.
demonetized for that
Distro
too.
Kid did that to us.
Yeah.
Took a song right off.
They take it right off. So, yes, I have done that before, but nowadays it's just too dangerous. You'll get slapped with a cease and desist, or we need to talk to you, or just yank off your
So just do it
music.
underground.
Yeah.
You do it
It's underground. Give
yeah.
it hand to hand is always good. But sooner or later, if that thing slaps, it's going to end up on the internet. And they're going to find you.
Yeah.
So I tried. I stay influenced, and I try to hold on to the things that I like.
Yeah.
It's a good Coke, but I'm burping all over the place. Pepsi. I'm sorry, not that. Anyway, yeah, I try to stay away from that. If I'm influenced by a 70s record, I'll listen to it and then try to find something to play it.
Melodic,
play it right out the gate.
Try to find something in the 80s.
In the 80s.
No.
I'll move to in the future.
Have you ever
You
worked with anybody who you just can't work with? It's like you're getting paid and you're like, fuck this dude. You don't have to name her, but
yes.
No, you have to name him.
Shout out to Little Xan.
Yes. But the thing is that I took it as a learning experience. I was trapped in there with him, and we were working, and we had to go back and do this. And to me, it sounds perfect. To him, he wants something else. And I'm like, oh God, oh God, oh God. And then, after a while, you just go, I can't do this. And you call him and you cancel. You stop answering phones. You're like, I can't do it. Can't do it. And then you have to tell them straight up, dude, it's too much. This is how much it costs, and we're way behind budget right here. And but after a while, you just like, it's a learning thing. After a while, you just go, okay, I'm gonna take that, learn from it, see if I can work with somebody else, and make sure you tell them up front.
Even if the money's good, what if he's like, nah, I'll pay you double?
Hey, if the money's good, play your position. You know what I mean? They put you on the court,
right?
And there's money on the table. Play your position until that game is over, and then reach out and grab your stack. Work. Right now, I can't afford to go. I can't do that anymore. I will find a way. I will drink something to chill me out and stay focused, man. I mean, if there's an opportunity right now, you have to take it.
That's very
no matter
true.
who it is.
The time is always.
There's a lot of competition now.
It's so flooded, and there's so much talent out there. You can get lost if you don't stick out.
It's super flooded.
Oh God, there's so many beats out there. There's so many dope beats out there. There's a lot of whack shit.
And that's
some
probably
dope
another
shit.
reason why everyone sounds the same.
Right.
Because when you got too many people doing it, there's less originality. Do you know what I'm saying? Like back when we were coming up, we heard less artists that were out. So when an album came out, it was a huge deal. Jay-Z was dropping an album. Oh my God. You couldn't wait. Mobb Deep's dropping an album. You couldn't wait. Whoever, Slipknot, whoever the fuck's.
Yeah.
Slayer's dropping an album. Oh my God. Everybody made a big deal about it. Now fools be dropping albums and like, oh shit, for real?
Yeah.
One day, they hear for one day, that's it. The next day, let's see what else.
And then it's not a big deal. For 3 days, it's a big deal, and that's it. And then it fades out. Back in the day, it was 5 months, fucking six months.
I think Jay said it best, man. It's the wild, wild west on the internet.
Wow.
It's whatever.
What else?
It's whatever is going to happen is going to happen.
Going back to Eminem, that's what he said. That's how he dropped his album. He dropped it right on us because he didn't want to wait and have people just already hating at the gate.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So he just dropped it out of nowhere.
Yeah, fuck it. Kamikaze stuff.
I guess that's that new shit, huh?
Yeah.
It is.
That's
Yeah,
that new
everybody's
style.
doing
Just
that.
Drop it in your face, like, oh fuck.
Like
came
P
out with an
Rock.
album.
Like P Rock when he dropped his instrumental album a couple months ago. It's like, whoa,
I think
shit.
Redman
Out
just
of
dropped
nowhere.
one too.
I think so, yeah.
Called 3 Joints.
Yeah.
Slap the shit out you. That's the single. That's the single. Slap the shit out you.
Slap the shit out you.
Shout out Redman.
Yeah.
I love Redman. Yo,
Man,
shut the fuck
he's not
out,
playing.
man.
He's not playing.
I love
3
Redman.
joints and they all hit. They all of them. Classic boom bap, classic Redman.
Always.
You know,
Always.
the wordplay is there and he's killing them. So go get that. You know what I mean? I'm working for these niggas. I'm telling you.
My middle name must be He Ain't Shit.
Yep.
Because every
He said,
time I
lift my
drive by,
shirt, all
bitches be
mammal.
like, He ain't shit.
Yeah.
I'll be that.
Yeah.
I'll be that.
Classic.
That's a
man.
badass album. by the
I
way.
love that song.
I love that one, dude. See, I said the album. That was a badass album. The whole thing.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Not a single
Yeah.
album.
Album.
That's what's missing. Is bodies of work.
It's because people don't have the attention span
There's
anymore.
no more attention span.
Kids don't have it. Too much
You got,
Xanax,
you got
too much
2.5 minutes.
Adderalls, whatever
Maybe
the
even
hell.
4. But
Yeah.
but you gone after 2.5 minutes. That's why the lyrics aren't that long, right?
Yep.
You got maybe 16 bars, and then you got the rest of the hook, and
Yep.
the DJ fades it out or cuts into something else.
Yeah.
Right? But it's horrible. There's no wordplay. There's nothing to think about. And the music is shorter and it's the same. It is exactly the same.
Maybe people are making music not to make an album, but to fit somewhere on somebody's Spotify playlist.
DPM.
That's what it is now. That's because it's all
they're
changed
trying to
now.
get on the algorithm. They're trying to fit the algorithm to everybody's sound.
But what happened to the artist that stuck out? What happened to the artist that was different?
There's still some that stick
Yeah, but
out,
you almost have to be, drinking blood and turn yourself into a vampire with bumps and tattoos all on your face just to look different from these cats.
Not everybody can be Ozzy Osbourne, but
And he was different.
well, he
You
did
know what
everything
I mean?
you just said.
But you know what?
That's what I'm saying.
I have a weird
He started
theory.
his own sound.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Black Sabbath started their own sound.
Yeah.
And they were playing with the rules of music back then. You had to be different. You could not sound like them. The A&Rs at that time were like, we want to rebuild this person and have her or him sound like this guy, but then we need a different element. And they were developing artists. And then they were building anticipation. They did the glad handing. They were shaking hands. This is our new artist. They introduced him, blah, blah, blah. So by the time the record was ready, everybody already knew every word.
Yeah.
Right? And
They
then
knew
the record
everybody.
dropped. They went on tour. Everyone was happy to actually see an artist. And then they already knew the words because they were ready. A month, 30 days before the album drops, the singles were out. 3 singles were leading. The favorite song was on the radio every day. People were taping it.
Yeah. There's a formula.
Yeah.
There's a formula.
Now you don't even have time to learn a song.
No.
I think last decade was the end of the rock star. It was the death of the rock star.
No, mamas.
And I'm not talking about like rock music.
So it's all
I'm
about
talking-
Monster now, or what?
I'm talking about this is the whole this dig. It was the whole thing. I mean, just like the superstar is gone, and now it's the era of the amateur, the era of the living room rock star.
Yeah.
But see, I think a lot of people don't realize that Spotify, iTunes, all these social, whatever you want to call them, I believe that's the underground compared to back in the day. Because back in the day, like you had the underground and those were tapes, CDs that you don't really hear on the radio. So if you think about it now, like you hear the radio, that's what
That's mainstream.
5 songs that you hear over and over.
Yeah.
What do you want to hear other than that? You go to all those other stations. Back in the day, the shit that wasn't on the radio, we get it from our homies.
We have to go dig it or get copies from homies on tapes.
So
or
that's the
whatever.
reason, like we're so fluttered with like in fucking Spotify, you hear 30,000 songs. On iTunes, same shit.
Yeah.
So that's the underground. And then you want to hear the shit that everybody's talking shit about is you go to the radio.
Yeah, but it's only a matter of time before they see those million spins.
Yeah.
And the record labels are like, you get a deal.
Yeah.
Right? And then that person comes out with their single, and then they wear them out with their single, and then they disappear. Right?
And that's the shit that's happening.
And they that's what record labels do.
Poor
now.
managing,
They find
that's what
them.
it is.
They
Poor
find them,
management.
pull them out. Here's a deal for you. Let's see how strong your legs are on this single.
What's your opinion on the 360 deal?
Oh my God, it's dangerous because it's not all your money.
Yeah,
It's not all your money.
it's not even part of your money.
I mean, it's another form of. You remember when the record labels used to actually buy things for you,
Yeah,
right? Buy you a car, buy you this,
Bonus.
buy you that,
Advance.
call it an advance, and then you're recouping for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And when you got a 360 deal, they'll put you out there, but everything they do is being marked. So every penny you spend, by the time tax season comes around, you're not going to have anything.
So that's what
Because
360 comes from.
They grab
That
all
shit came
of it.
right the fuck around. Give
From
360
Sprite
degree.
commercials, cologne, shoe deals, commercials on
What the
NBA,
hell?
all of that stuff. You get all of that, and you're working, but you don't own any of it. It's
yeah.
not yours.
Not even the T-shirts you sell at concerts.
Not one thing. It's all theirs.
Dead
So-
President said it.
Yeah.
That's boo-boo.
Dead Press said it.
Yeah.
They said that rolling around a coupe and you're broke.
Yep. One of the weirdest stories I heard is Mary J. Blige. She was 4 records in before she started to turn any money over.
Yeah.
Because
Get
she
out
made
of town.
classics.
Damn.
Well, she got
4
a big
records in
advance.
before she started seeing anything.
She must have got a
Hell
big
no.
advance.
I was gonna say, how you live on just in advance? Live
It
shows.
happens. You have to tour.
Yeah,
That's
shows.
the biggest thing.
Yep.
That's how you make your money now.
You grind it out.
To
You
get
have
the
to
money,
tour.
You have to give them all the money back, and then you make money.
Now, if it wasn't for that record label, do you think she'll be big?
That's the
I
sacrifice.
think
she
back
had to
then
make,
they needed
Back
the record
then,
label.
they needed the record label, especially for international touring.
But the shoes doing shit right now, I doubt it.
Oh, she's good now.
Yeah.
And she's dropped some things with Nas and all of that, but she's an actress now. And that money is upfront money.
They don't hear it.
That's why everybody's jumping to movies and the Netflix and the Hulus and all of that. They get that upfront money, you know.
Exactly.
And they don't need to drop
They get
a
that
record.
base rate.
Yep.
That 20 million.
Yep. Right out the gate. And if you do your numbers, they'll extend it.
Yeah.
And then you come back, you know. But
So we're in the wrong business. What the fuck we doing?
we got to
music
start
for?
acting.
Welcome to the new improved Clika movie cast.
I've been acting. I just need to get paid for it.
Well, hopefully a little video hits.
It should be dope. You guys are dope. Thank you again for having me.
Man,
by the way.
thank you for
This is
coming
so
through.
Yeah,
dope
thank you for coming through.
being here, man. I got to do this again when the record drops. Yes.
Yes.
There's a verbal agreement. Got you. Got you.
Yeah,
But it's a 360 agreement. Though.
We got you.
Let me get back
we
to you.
got you.
who would you want to work with, man?
Everyone.
DJ Mino.
Like one of the top five people like right now they don't something that you probably been thinking about, like I would love to make a track for Homeboy.
Oh my God. Of course, my team, everybody on Affiliate Entertainment. Shout out to everybody that we work. We cooking, man. But anyway, as far as stars, I'd love to be in a room with Dr. Dre and just absorb what he does on that SSL. You know what I mean? And I'd love to put something out with him. J. Cole, I'd definitely love to sit and make a track for that dude. Let's see.
Let me ask you, what you think about that premiere with J. Cole in it, the Gangstar?
I love that record. Royce the 5'9's record is dope.
Yes, it is.
He's a bad dude.
And
He's a
the
bad
DJ Premier is crazy.
Yeah, he's a beast.
DJ talking Premier talking like this all day when
that's how Premier talk.
that's how we get down. He came through.
He's like the Miles Davis of rap.
But yeah, that's a crazy record. He was just bringing back all the ones I just recently listened to. Who else? Eminem. I'd love to do something crazy with him, just to see what he does to it. You
Right.
know? Just to see.
I feel like he's like Conor McGregor of hip hop and
It's
shit.
just to
Like
see
that
what he does.
motherfucker, you throw him in there, he's gonna do something spectacular.
look at that.
He's gonna entertain some way.
If y'all ain't sat and listened to that, listen to it.
Yeah, I heard it, man. I heard the whole
Especially
thing.
if you
It's so
call
weekend.
yourself a rapper, listen to that record.
the
He
whole-
goes off.
I love how he I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No, please.
I love how he uses the new music against the new rappers when he's calling them out, especially when he's doing that whole Gucci Gang mock.
Yeah,
Oh my God, that album is just brilliant.
it's brilliant, and it's classic Eminem.
Yeah.
When he didn't give a shit when he first came
Yeah.
out.
Oh,
You know
I
what
gotta
mean?
listen to it
it's
now.
That
It's
Eminem.
crazy, man.
It's that
'Cause that's the
I
Eminem
wasn't
that I
prepared
picked.
for
Music
this
to be
Eminem.
murdered. Music to
the
be
ruckus
murdered by.
Eminem.
Music
that
to be
old
murdered
shit.
by.
Yeah, music
and
to be
it's
murdered by.
actually an album that Alfred Hitchcock made.
That's right.
It's titled
That's
Music
right.
to
I
be
was trying to
murdered
remember
to.
where it
Murdered
came
to.
from. That's right.
Music to be murdered by.
Hitchcock made
Yeah.
that album, and he just incorporated it.
Yeah, that's
You know,
Crazy.
it's funny because I was geeking on Eminem this week or last week, I should say, and I was talking. They were talking about the Kill Shot and the Rap Devil,
Yeah.
and everybody misses the one diss. Everybody just skips it when he's talking about what's his name, MGK or MGC or whatever.
MGK.
Yeah,
Machine
whatever.
Gun Kelly. or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
And he was talking about his daughter at 16, and he's like, he said something about to the effect of R. Kelly. He calls him R. Kelly, and everybody that reviewed that album missed that. They missed it. He basically called him a child molester.
Yeah, I heard it. I caught it right away. But I'm like, oh shit.
Eminem does not give a shit.
Oh, no.
If you go after his daughter,
he does not give
you
a
are
fuck.
going to
That's
get
his signature.
fucked up.
That's his signature. I don't give a fuck.
No, that's.
He'll go after you.
Did you guys ever hear the diss on the Wake Up Show? They have a Wake Up Show record. The Sway and Tech.
Sway and
He
Tech,
did one
yeah.
right. He did a diss record. Nobody really knows about it, but it's an underground classic, man.
Sway did one?
Yeah, on their mix, they
Who
did
did he do? this?
He
Or
did
was it Eminem?
Monica. He did stuff back in that day. You know when it came out.
yeah.
He did this. I'll play it for you guys.
Oh, you mean Eminem?
Yeah,
Just-
Eminem did.
Eminem
He
did.
did a. He did a
Why is Sway
bunch
dissing
of.
anybody?
Yeah, I was like, Sway did a record?
No. So he was on Sway's records.
Oh.
Sway and Tech.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a diss song on there, man. That shit
Okay.
is hilarious.
Oh man.
Oh, so it's like a mixtape.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
It is fucking
I'll look it up.
hilarious, man. I'll play it for you guys. It's
For
like
sure.
that's my favorite one. There's a lot of diss songs out there, but that's one of my favorite. The beat, his flow from back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I miss that. With
Yeah,
Eminem.
that's the one I'm
I
talking
miss
about.
the old Eminem. Dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that flow.
What's
when
that?
he changed?
What's that song on Ruckus that where he says any man?
Any man.
Any
Yeah,
man. No,
it's called Any Man.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that fucking song. It's a great track.
It's around that same era, around the same time.
Yeah.
It's the
You know what I'm
Ruckus
talking
era.
about?
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta
The
dig that
90s.
up again.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
watch
do
That shit was funny as fuck.
90s.
I like the one, Get You Mad.
Yes.
You know, I only say that to get you mad. That shit is funny what he says in that shit. Yeah, I'm excited to hear it, man. I want that old Eminem shit back.
Yeah,
I
man.
want to
You
hear
gonna
that
love
shit.
it. You gonna love
Shit,
it.
we could bump it at break.
No,
Yeah.
we are.
Right now.
For sure.
Yeah, we get the speaker
I've been bumping
outside.
it all week, man. Like
Get
when
the
they dropped
speaker,
off
past the wire.
I sent you the
Really?
link. I sent you the link of the album.
The link?
Yeah, I sent you the album on. I texted to you.
Oh, man, my phone works now. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm checking. I forgot what link meant.
He dropped his phone
It's
like
been
4
so long
times
since
already,
my
dude.
phone
In a
has-
minute. Just
I
sitting
know.
here, he dropped it 4 times.
That's time number 4 just today.
Just today.
It's an Apple drop.
So those are good. Those are good people you like to work with, man. Those
Yeah, man.
actually, those
Yeah.
are nice ones. And you won't go wrong. And
It
I'm
is-
pretty
it
sure you
is
want
more.
KRS. And KRS was one there right there.
Oh,
KRS has to be on there, right?
He'd have to be number one just to hear what he would do. To a
Just because
track
it's
of
in his
mine.
name, right? Number
That
one.
just because.
Chris.
Chris is an awesome name, though. You know, you just gotta
It
understand.
is
dude.
a dope name.
It's the dopest of names.
Dopest.
Chris.
La Clika's a dope name too.
Órale.
Órale.
Oh my God.
Could be like Clika 1.
La Clika what?
We can all agree on that one.
So you have your head around the hip hop producing,
Yes, sir.
and you got it down to where you feel comfortable working with other artists and putting out your own music.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you: would you be open to another genre of music, producing in that realm? Or
Oh man, I used to play in a rock band.
No, we're talking polka.
Oh, really?
I
A
missed
rock
that.
band, really? What you play in the rock band?
I played drums in a rock band called Pet the Dog.
Oh, wait a minute. You
Remember
did?
that?
Oh, dang. That was a pretty
That's a
decent
dope
band,
ass
too.
Three
Pet the
years.
Dog. I remember
3
them.
years I played with them. We were all up and down the West Coast, man. We had a residency in Laguna at Hennessy's in
Wow.
Laguna.
Oh, sure.
And we'd play there.
I'm sorry.
No, it was dope. It was dope. We actually got that club in trouble because we played so loud. They broke the noise ordinance
no
or the
shit.
law in that sense, and everybody was mad at that club for a minute because I was up there bashing, man.
Banging
But
the shit out of drums.
rock music has always been a part of me as a drummer, with the double pedal and the fast playing. I mean, I'm not a blast beat player, but I grew up on rock and roll. I was being from Kansas, you're forced to listen to certain genres of places that you work. So I listened to country, I listened to rock, metal, glam, 80s glam music, all of that, right? So when I went home, I basically took a shower in hip hop just so I could clean all that stuff out of my mind. You know
But
what I
no
mean?
matter what, it's in you now.
It's stuck. So if someone was to call and say, "Hey, Chris, can you play in this rock band?" and if it was paying, I'd get my sticks out and
You're
start
like,
learning.
I know that
I'm
beat,
going
yup.
in, boom, boom, boom,
Jump
boom.
in.
so
Yeah.
getting off the drum throne and on the producer's chair,
I'd absolutely do it.
you would do what kind of music? What would be your preferred genre? If you're saying, "Hey, we're gonna take a break from hip hop, we want to expand this studio and bring in a different kind of artist." Now, what kind of genre would you be willing to work with?
Man,
Like, what would be your idea genre besides hip hop?
besides hip hop, well, R&B is kind of close to that, so I'll skip over that. But there was this one group that I saw live at one point, and they broke up since, but they were a metal group, like hardcore metal, right? But they had this groove. Their drummer, I knew their drummer, and he's still alive, but I know their drummer. But it was so metal. There was so
Remember
much.
the name?
Yeah, it's a group called Chrysalis.
Chrysalis. You didn't like him because of the first part of the name?
Nope.
You weren't a little biased? You sure?
You remember Garrett? You remember Garrett, right? He used to work at the spot, right? He invited me to one of his shows, and they were on the ticket, and I was over there, and I heard them, and I was a fan immediately just from that metal experience, because I've never heard a metal group play live in a local setting that was so tight.
Yeah.
I mean, they had the laser show. The singer was on point. The guitarist was crazy. The drummer was in the pocket, and it was just explosion. It was explosive from the beginning of the show to when they left, right? No one knew who they were, but they had everyone's attention. And next time they played in Long Beach, I went to it. I won a shirt, Chrysalis shirt, and I have it to this day. And I was like, one day I'm going to be working with them on some way, shape, or form. I just stayed in contact with them, and then all of a sudden they fell off and never saw them again. So I would love, to answer your question, I would love to do a metal record just to see how I would react to the drums, how I'd react to placing it, how I would mix it. Would I drop elements of hip hop into it just to make it punch harder? Because I've listened to a lot of it, but I've always wanted to see if I could mix one
or see what it would come out
see
like,
what would
right?
happen if it had hip hop elements in it.
See, that was the magic of Korn.
Oh my God, yes, Korn.
Like the first Korn album sounded more like Cypress Hill than it did a metal album.
Oh, you know who got me? It was 9 Inch Nails too.
9 Inch Nails. Oh, that's my shit. Right
they
there.
got me too.
Yeah, they got some shit.
Trent Reznor is a beast, right?
Yeah, he does it all himself.
All himself, but he has elements of hip hop in him.
He definitely does.
You know what I mean? And
you can listen to a song like "Down in It," which is basically a rap song.
Yeah. Man, it's taking me back. I got to go listen to these records now. That's what's going to happen. When I get home, I'm just going to pull them all up and just probably smoke something and go, oh, yeah.
And that was the first song he ever recorded was "Down in It."
Really?
Yeah, that was the first song.
Was that off of
Pretty Hate Machine?
Pretty Hate Machine.
Yeah.
That was the orange colored record. Right?
The blue one.
It was the blue one?
The blue one.
Oh, what was the orange one?
The orange one was broken.
Broken? Thank you. I'm trying to remember all of my stuff, man. You got me.
Yeah,
you got me. We're going to have to sit and talk.
Hell yeah,
so we can get all of this out.
We are.
But Trent,
I'm like, yeah, we're sitting and talking right now.
No, I mean, off the air, goddammit.
See,
Off the record.
like with punk rock, I think punk rock, the drums could be sloppy.
Yeah.
But with metal and just like groove metal, like
you got to be on point.
It has to be pocket.
Yep.
And that's the same thing with hip hop. I mean, it shares that kinship.
Yeah. There's a funk level that has to be there.
Yeah, there's a little bit of pocket and there's a little bit of groove in there.
Yeah.
And swing. There's got to be a little swing sometimes in hip hop.
And that's what I liked about the LA,
That's why I like
LA
village
scene.
shit.
Yeah.
LA scene, like the South Central scene for the Watts scene, the Compton scene, and the metal bands out there, they had that hip hop influence in them.
Yeah.
Because they had that, like Lepra. Lepra has that hip hop groove to it, even though they're a really hardcore evil death metal band.
You see, it looks like two
But
turntables.
they have a groove to it.
Right.
You know, and it just came about that way because of the music they were surrounded while they were playing metal music.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
See,
It's influence.
we got to pull. I gotta check your playlist, man. Send me the link. I know you got a ton of stuff that you listen to, so I'd love to listen to all this stuff.
Shit, you just send me yours,
Man, that's one thing I haven't been doing is getting a playlist together of stuff. I just pull up albums and press play.
Yeah, that's what I do basically.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this looks interesting. Boom, and listen to it and skip through the stuff that doesn't catch me.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to change genres now and listen to some things.
I think it's important for a producer to listen to everything.
Oh, it's important.
Yeah, you have to.
It always is. But then you start finding the thread in all of it, and you're like, oh, that sounds like this. That sounds like that. And then you end up back at home.
You see, but that's when you. I mean, I'm not calling you out. I'm not saying anything.
No.
Yeah, you are.
That's listening to with closed ears. You're not listening to it with the open mind.
No. I keep it. I always keep it open. And there are some things that I won't allow my brain to absorb and keep.
Yeah.
Like I like comedies, right? But I won't watch The Exorcist to this day. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you.
So that's what I mean. There are things that I like and I'm comfortable with, but if I step over in that area and it starts to seep in, I get a little scared. So I'm like, let me go back to something I'm familiar with and get comfortable again.
Watch The
then
Omen.
I'll try it again.
Watch The Omen.
Can't do it. can't do it.
Halloween.
Mouth of Madness.
Halloween all day, but anything that has to do with the devil, I'm done. I was like, you get a couple of minutes, and as soon as the devil shows up, I'm done. I'm out.
But if
Not
there's
even South
candy
Park the
involved,
movie?
you're good. Okay,
Huh?
no.
What about South Park the movie?
That has a devil in it.
South Park the movie.
You got to get it right. I'm talking about the Exorcist and the Omen and the possession of this and the possession of her, and I'm like, no, I can't watch that stuff.
Nah, I feel
So I say all that to say that there's some metal music that it freaks me out.
You don't fuck with.
It was like, oh no, I can't do that.
So he won't like Lefra then.
I'll give it a shot. I'm not scared to listen to it, but there are certain areas that just
stay away from
my
Norway.
brain.
Just stay away from Norway.
I'll do my best.
You're just scared to listen to it at night. That's all. That's all.
With the
Those
lights
motherfuckers-
All the lights on.
The lights.
Those motherfuckers burn churches over there in Norway.
Damn.
Dang.
God
Yeah,
damn.
they don't fuck around.
They don't fuck around.
I forgot the name of the band. Do you know the name of the band? The guy that blew his brains out.
God damn.
And the singer blew his brains out, and the guitar player ate his brains.
What the fuck?
And not
Where
only
am I, man?
Not only
Why would I know that?
I don't know, but okay.
Because he's a cannibal. What the
There's
fuck?
a Swedish metal band
Okay.
out there, and the singer blew his brains out. The guitar player ate his brains, and then took a picture of it, and they put it on the album cover that they were about to release.
Oh my God.
That's fucking brutal.
Yeah, that's
man.
some shit that I will not listen to.
Fucking-
I'll tell you that
I'm outta
right
here.
now. I don't want to know the name.
And it
I don't want to
sounds-
know the group.
You just fucked up the whole thing.
It sounds completely lame. It's not even hard at
gonna
all.
Watch it.
But yeah,
not gonna listen. Nope. I can't.
So
do
the
that.
album's not good?
it's not good. It's trash.
That's the
It's
worst
trash.
part. If
It
it was a
wasn't
good
mixed
album,
well.
then, you know.
They should have called me. I'd have mixed it.
Damn, they fucked up. They should have called Chris. Wolf.
Okay, how often do you, when you're in the studio and you have an artist, how often is it that they have all their music ready for you?
Never.
So they come in, they're relying on you. They never came in with their own.
When I first started my little vanity studio, I would get people that would rip songs from the internet. And
YouTube.
they'll already be mastered, so I got to put their voice on an already mastered beat.
Oh, wow.
Fucking
I
hard
had
as
to,
fuck.
Yeah,
What's
so I had
the
to
point?
figure out the best way to do that. So
Damn. What's the point of?
Would you
like,
cut a hole?
that being there? You know
What would
I'm
you
saying?
do, Chris?
You're just a copy and paste.
I want to know.
You're just a copy and paster, pretty much.
no,
No,
actually,
but you'd have to cut a hole in the frequency to lay the vocal in there, right?
It's
Or
a
what would you
two-part
do?
thing. One of the things that Cubase has is called a limiter protector, right? And when you drop a vocal onto an already mastered track, there are some frequency things that you're going to have to do for the vocal.
Right, I would think so.
And things that you'll have to tuck, snare drum.
Just to make it sound like it's together.
Yeah. And then when you go to render it or to mix it down to a 2-channel stereo, you want to make sure that protector is on the track and then put another limiter on the mix. That way, nothing goes higher than what it's supposed to.
Right.
Listen to it. Make sure you got a good pair of reference headphones. That's
Right.
the thing.
DT770's bear dynamics.
Got them. Or the AKG 550s. Those are dope. But that's kind of like the trick that I use, a protection limiter on the track itself, right? And then when I do the vocal, there's compression there, of course.
Right.
But I try to find an EQ and I do a preset on that vocal. So when the guy comes in or the girl comes in, I already have a preset of what their sound is that sounds the best when you tuck it against a already mastered beat. So to answer your question, a lot of them aren't 100% ready because it's a totally different vibe than sitting in your room writing in front of your mirror doing your thing. Then you're locked in a booth and it's just you and the beat. It gets a little scary. So they fumble
And they're paying
words.
for it.
Yeah, they fumble words. They're in a time frame. I try to tell them, don't worry about the time. Just spit. Do your 16. Do your second verse. Do your hook. Whatever. I'll try to have an order. But a lot of the times, they'll get to that last bar and fuck it up. And then we got to start over. Because I don't believe in punching. If you wrote that song, you should know it.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I'm not going to punch you in every 4 fucking bars if this is your song and you actually wrote it.
You might punch him in the face, but not punch him in.
Punch him in the head.
Now there are times when you go for effect. When you punch somebody in, it's an effect, and they're overlapping to another verse or something like that. But people that work with me know that I hate punching in. So if you wrote that 16, you should be able to spit that 16,
come prepared to the studio.
So then the
Prepared or
rapper's
not.
not prepared. Basically,
That's what I
not
mean.
just not prepared with his music
Right.
or his or her music. They're just not prepared. You know,
There are some of them that come in and one take wonders. You be like, wow.
talent wise, you know what I mean? Yeah.
There's some. I work with some cats that do that. Just come in and tear it down, song after song. Put this song up. Okay, it's up. Blah, kill it, right? And I'm like, holy shit. Okay, moving on. Next thing I know, in a 4-hour time frame, we've got 6 songs stacked.
But some people,
you
it's
work
just
with
like pulling
Tupac.
teeth.
That means you work with Tupac.
Man, there are some cats that, shout out to Prince, also Taz, Mellow Kane.
Mellow Kane.
But all
My
those
man.
guys have studio experience, though, right?
Yeah. See, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
A lot of them do.
The
but
artists
a lot of
sometimes
them
come
don't.
in unprepared as artists.
Sometimes.
Their skill
But
level
it is
is not
my
prepared.
job as a producer. It is my job to notice that. If I'm looking at them and they sound intense, they're running out of air, come out.
Do you ever have to calm them down? Like,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
you know what?
Come
Smoke
out,
something,
smoke
drink something. Yeah.
Let's go outside, get some air, relax,
Right.
and then come
Maybe
back.
they just
and
had to
let's see
fart.
it.
You never know. You
That
gotta
part,
let it out.
Yeah,
get 'em out.
Booth
Go
stinks
outside.
after a while. You're like,
Oh,
damn,
yeah, see.
what did you do?
That's why they couldn't get the last bar in. They couldn't breathe. You know what I'm saying? Start choking.
Yeah, it happens.
It happened to me.
How do you find the people you work with?
I usually work on referrals when people. If I've got a good rapport with a couple of people, they'll tell a couple of people about me, and they'll go, "Hey, Chris, can I bring such and such by?" They want to see if they can fuck with you, and I'm like, "Okay," because one, it's my house. I'm not just gonna have a team of motherfuckers in my house.
Right.
1 or 2 people, I'm cool. But it's usually through referrals. If I'm in a good mood and I like who I'm working with, I'll give off the best vibe. Next thing they know, I'm working with somebody else. And, the team grew from that. From
Nice.
referrals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And I only mess with people that I know can do something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Don't waste your time. There's no
Yeah.
time to waste.
I'm not in the mood to teach someone how to be better. They gotta want it right out the gate.
So no Dylons, right?
Dylan.
More guidelines.
Spit hot fire.
That was gonna be my next question. Actually, have you ever worked with anybody? You're like, this guy has talent, but he needs to be fine tuned. Have you ever sent anybody to like a coach or some kind of mentoring?
Yeah. There's a couple people on my first record, Black and Gold, that, man, if they didn't have their foot in other activities, they could be stars today.
Yeah.
And it hurts. There's a couple R&B singers that I know of that could be phenomenal, but they walked away from it or wanted too much from it and didn't really know how the game worked.
Yeah.
But like I said, all of that is experience now. So I understand it. I get it. And I just got to be honest with them right out the gate. You could be dope if you just do this.
Dedication.
But at the same time, I'm still in a spot where I could be better.
Gotcha.
So it's hard for me to do any mentoring if I'm not in a spot where I feel like now I can get somebody, pull somebody in.
Because you're in the same road with them.
Exactly. So I'm still learning. I'm still growing.
You gotta have something that you can be able to pass down.
Exactly.
If you want to be a mentor, yeah.
And I can't be that guy to tell somebody you'd be dope if you just do this. I'm like, nah, man. It still takes me a little bit of time to turn over a record. If I like it and I really want to be picky about the song, it would take me a while to get them the track, and I'm terrible that way. But this year, I promised myself if I mix something for someone and they're in the studio, they get a copy of it that night in their email, and I'm good.
That's good ethics.
And I'm trying to turn over as quickly as possible because most rappers nowadays want to do the record, mix it really fast, send it to me so I can post it by the end of the week.
Can't wait to post it.
Yeah, and then they post it, and then 3 days later they need another one, and then they need another one. Instead of just developing and getting the song right and getting the sound right, they want it out in front of the people immediately, no matter how it sounds.
And that's because that's the world we're living in.
This is being impatient. That's
That's
all
just
it
the
is.
world we're living in, man. People just
And
want
I'm
it
learning.
now.
I'm learning.
Bringing
to
it up.
I'm getting
get
tired of
faster.
it.
I gotta learn to get faster. That's the thing, and it's a fault of mine, and I'm working on it.
But that's why we got the quality we have now, is because it is going out so fast that they're not taking the time to fine tune it.
Yeah, They don't have time because these kids will X you.
So it's
as
about
soon as your
fast.
record comes out,
You're
they'll
done.
listen to it, play it as many times as they can, and then go, okay, I'm on to the next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
And
next
they
day.
know that.
And it's
And
fast.
they know
It's all about quantity, not quality now. It's
Yeah,
all
it's-
about
it's-
how many
And there's some
songs
kids-
It's a
you
numbers
pump
game.
out.
It's a numbers game now.
There are some people that I know that, they're like, oh, it's just too much music. I need to concentrate on one particular thing. And, the quality suffers, of course. There are people that are rapping off beat. And they're like, that shit's dope.
I hear it all the time.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I hear it on.
And they're like, that shit's dope. No, it's not.
Yeah, dude.
On what fucking planet is rhyming off beat dope?
It's like I want to get into the file and just nudge it over a little bit.
I'm
It's
timid.
not dope.
dog.
It's
Let me-
fire. It's fire now.
Fire. Oh, yeah.
It's fire.
It's litty. It's lit.
Every time I heard somebody say that track was fire, I know they're off beat. There's something wrong with it, man. It's automatic now.
I'm a
It's
tempo
automatic.
Nazi, so that just bothers the fuck out of
Oh
me.
God, I'd fast forward so quick. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck that. I'd rather listen to people talk on NPR,
Or like Lika.
or Lika, La Clika, all day. I'd rather listen to La Clika,
La Clika.
La Clika.
Now
Am I
it's
saying that
65
right?
episodes.
Yeah.
65.
It's
man.
like the click, but with an I at the end.
Ah,
La Clika.
La Clika.
La Clika.
Okay, I'm Spanish
Podcast.
Yeah, man.
So, walk us.
Yo.
Let me ask you a question, man.
Yes, sir.
Walk us through your day, man. What's your routine about sitting down making a song? Man?
Nowadays, man, I try to knock out a beat a day. So I'm up at 5:30 in the morning. I make some coffee. I go right to my studio and I pull up whatever track I was working on that night. If I like it, I'll expand on it. If not, I'll get a new idea. My daughter has to be at school by 9, so I get her up. And usually I don't have to be at the other job till maybe 1 o'clock. So I go back to the studio, start working on the stuff. And if I had a client a couple of days before, I pull up their music, get it all tight, send them a copy of it. And that's the routine I'm trying to get into. So a beat a day. And I'm up to, since January 1st.
Oh, wow.
Track a day. This is,
Damn.
what, the 20th now?
That's good.
And I was already ahead, so I'm probably about 30 beats in from the beginning of the year. So I'm trying to do different things. I'm looking at YouTube to find out what's out there, what's influential, how can I incorporate that into my tracks. And then, Black and Gold 2 is almost ready. I played some other things for some people.
Oh, so you stay busy, man. That's pretty.
I'm trying to
That's a
stay
lot of
there.
work
And then
every day.
I'm doing, and then I do things like this. And I never used to do podcasts. I never used to go out to clubs. Now I was
Until you heard about La Clika podcast.
I
And
had
then
to
you were
be
like, I
here.
gotta go there.
I was like, Mino,
And
how
now
come
you're
you ain't
here.
called me? My phone was broken, man. But I'm
That's
here.
real though, dog.
know, man.
He did hit me up. He's like, "What's up? I hear you doing this podcast thing. What about me?"
Holla at me.
And I'm like,
But
"Let's
yeah.
get your ass on then."
But that's what I'm trying to do now. And
Marketing.
real quick, shout out to my wife, man, of 20 years. She just got her master's in legal studies.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Oh, she is a beast, man.
Personal jinx.
And she is out there killing it. And just to watch her do that, she has tolerated me going to the studio, staying locked up in the studio and not doing manly things around the house. But I'm in the lab working, you know what I mean? And people would come over to the house she doesn't know, and, it makes her uncomfortable. But I'm like, I know these cats. They're good.
It's like, don't worry, baby. This is Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah,
They're coming through.
And that's the plan, man. My ultimate goal is to have a building that I work out of. My brother, and shout out to Houdini, Dean Childs. He's in Oxnard. He's a ridiculous producer out there. And he's going to be on the team soon. Hopefully we're developing some young cats that I know. But that's the routine. Get up, make a beat, take care of my daughter, make some more music.
Get the daily grind cracking.
Yeah, and I'm trying to stay in that routine and just getting the music ready, man. And the website is almost done, so everyone will be able to hear or at least buy those tracks straight from me.
That's
You
what's
know,
up.
no
They'll
SoundCloud,
find the link
no
on your
YouTube.
IG.
As soon as it's finished,
it's
it'll
up.
be on Affiliate Entertainment
That's
_.
good.
Yes, sir.
That's really good, man. That's a good. You have to discipline. Yeah,
I'm trying to get it.
It's hard.
I used to just stay asleep.
So, I know what you mean, man.
So I take you as somebody who doesn't watch a lot of TV and stuff like that. Like you'd rather be at the studio than sitting behind the couch?
I tried to stay away from TV, man. If it's a sport, I mean, I'm a Kansas City fan.
Yeah.
So Kansas City is going to the Super Bowl, so I got to see that.
There you go.
You know, I'm watching that. I'm also developing some a game, but I can't really talk too much about it. But I do want to let people know that there's a game that is going to come out. Me and the homie Prince are putting together this game. It's going to be crazy.
Look out, Yahtzee.
Huh? What's up?
I said, look out, Yahtzee.
Yahtzee?
Just ignore him.
I'm
Ignore
just
him.
being stupid.
No, I say he like look out, Yahtzee. You know what I mean? Like move over, bacon. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Here
my
comes
God.
something meatier. You
No,
know?
but-
Sizzling. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy, man. But no, that's but that's the plan, man.
I just
Is
dated
to
myself.
put this record out, put out a body of work that is it's actually, hopefully it'll be impactful with the team that I have and the people that I'm going to invite to be on it. I really want this thing to be impactful for a genre that I love, and hip hop has been with me since, and to actually put out something with talented people is the ultimate goal for me,
Right.
you know, and not really worried about the appreciation factor of it. I just want it to be as perfect as it is in my head.
Or as genuine, right?
Yeah.
Keep it genuine. Because you know what? There's people out there that are going to feel the same thing that you're feeling.
Yeah.
The same beats that you're coming out with. They're going to identify with it. Oh, I like that shit. That's just tight. Whatever.
Yeah.
There's kids across the whole world. This fool's
Yeah.
in Germany right now bugging to your shit. You never know.
Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping for. I mean, you check spins, and when you have your publishing, you're able to look at how many spins you got. And there are a couple of songs that I saw that I didn't know people even actually liked. You know,
Surprised
And
you?
I was like, holy crap! Because you look at the whatever spins and
stats.
streams and the stats,
Yeah.
and you see that one song that you're like, oh shit, that shit was whack, but they love it, and it's
Right.
no one that you know, it's everybody over there, and they just feeling it.
Overseas.
Yeah, all day overseas.
Has this ever happened to you? You put something out that you didn't think was all that great. You were like, it's cool. And just a grip of people are like, that's the shit. That song, I love it. Has that ever happened
yeah.
on any tracks
I've
or any
actually
songs?
had to stop throwing tracks away. I used to throw shit away that I didn't like, just delete it. I'm like, oh, this shit's whack, delete. But now, if I play it for someone, they're like, that shit is dope. You know, give me that right now. And I'm like, fuck, it's not even done. And they're like, give it to me the way it is.
It's a different set of
So I send
ears.
it to
You're just
them.
like, they might like it.
So I just put it in a file now. And if I'm pulling up stuff and no one is digging, I pull that file out. And they go, oh shit, this shit's crazy. You've been sitting on this all this time.
Right.
And I'm like, fuck, I'm not trying to hide it.
It's just you didn't think it was up to par.
To me, it's whack.
And
but
it ended up being
here,
a fucking hole in one.
exactly,
Yep.
exactly.
It sounds like you spend a lot of your time creating and working with other artists. Do you ever take the time to actually sit down and listen to music?
Yes. The best time for me is in the car. Riding home from someplace, wherever I've been, like from work, and it's at least, 20, 30 minutes. I'll put on an album, something that I want to listen to, and just zone out.
Some alone time.
Oh, man. And then some of the times I'm in the lab at night after a long day. I just sit back, put on the headphones, and I'm listening to whatever. And I'm trying to find little nuances that I liked about this record when I first heard it. And I'm able to pick it apart, American Gangster has always been and probably will always be one of the best lyrical records from Jay that I appreciate the most, because he takes me back to when I was younger, and I wasn't in the gang and I wasn't into drugs and shit, but I was in that family that, was slightly broken, and you had to deal with shit that was going on. I had the drug dealing cat and the depressed aunt and the lost cousin. I had all of those family members.
All the elements you identify with.
And then you're in there listening to these oldies records that the Marvin Gayes, the Whispers, the OJs, the Teddy Pendergrasses, the Anita Bakers. You hear all these records and these elements and you just zone out. And you go, man, I remember when I was a kid, and you capture those moments and you try to pull up those memories.
I always love that about music.
Love it.
It could take you just anywhere.
It's important
Anywhere.
to me.
It's
that
better
I
than
have
reading.
To listen,
Not
I
just playing.
have to listen to a record One of my favorite ones to zone out to is Anita Baker Compositions. Right? If you've never heard that, that's probably the single most romantic record in the world.
That's
right?
probably why I haven't heard it, because I'm just.
You need to listen to it.
I don't
because
have I don't have the romantic chromosome.
you
Hit it and quit it.
You gotta have it. You gotta have it.
Tooted and booted.
Don't ask me why.
But you need Anita Baker's Compositions. If you haven't heard that, that is probably, and it's not a dirty record. It's live instrumentation for one. It's jazz oriented. There's funk elements. The drummer on there is ridiculous, and it grooves from beginning song, even the slow songs, all the way to the end. And it's a jazz record, so they take these last endings of the song, and it goes on for 6 minutes of them just playing.
Improv.
And you can hear it, and it's just a beautifully put together record. So
Check that out.
I have to listen to music. I have to. It's important. It's a part of me. Music wakes me up. I dream of it, and I've been up at 4:30 in the morning. I'm like, I got to get to the studio and put a record and put a beat down that I just dreamed about, and it ended up being a popular record. The song "Welcome" on Black and Gold woke me up at 4:30 in the morning.
And just came out and just did it.
Woke me up. I made it, and my boy Corey, shout out to Mr. Pulse, he wrote for me on that. Because he heard something in it, and then it ended up on the record. So stuff like that, man, I love it.
I gotta commend you on the fact that you've been doing it for so long, and you still have that drive, that motivation to wake up and make beats and keep that ethic going.
Yeah, man.
Daily, and a lot of cats lose
difficult
it.
discipline.
It is. I'm one of them. Sometimes I suffer from that. You know what I mean? Like, I'll get up, I'll be like, I just don't have it. You know what I mean? The next day, maybe not. The next day, maybe I do. But you're doing it every day, and I respect that.
But sometimes it's important to walk away from it. Just walk away.
Yeah.
So every now and then you have to.
But when you have a job other than
Right.
that's your escape. But I've had beats in my head at work.
I hate that. Yes.
God, and you can't get home, right?
I hate that.
And so I've learned to memorize a couple of things. And then you get in the car, you get your phone,
right?
You record it.
Then you get home and go, okay, what the fuck was that? Okay, cool. And you program it and you go, okay, as close as I can get it.
Yeah.
That wasn't what I was thinking.
Right.
But at least the idea is gone. It's tangible now. I have it. I can expand on it.
Doesn't it seem to happen a lot when you're busy?
God, all the time.
When you're not at the studio?
Somebody
You know what
will
I'm saying?
say something and you're like, oh shit, that would be dope to put on the record.
I just leave work. I just go by you guys and I just.
I suggest to carry a pen and paper on you all the time. Man.
I used to.
Just write it down. I have a pen on me all the time.
Tienes el iPhone, cabrón.
No, dude, I have a pen on me every day.
Dude, I'm not
for that
lying.
reason.
I had an idea for a hook. I was riding my bike, doing my little 20-mile, 30-mile rides, right?
Fell.
No, I fell after that.
I have a pen on me all the time.
I was thinking of something, and I
literally.
literally grabbed my phone and recorded it while I was riding the bike because I didn't want to lose it.
And he fell on the beat.
I know.
Yeah, I fell right on the.
And you have to do it, and then you got to get. And then I suggest to get some apps too. There's apps out there that I have that actually.
I've got my recorder. It's on a quick button.
No, there's a couple apps that you could actually like program the drum on you, so you can remember the drums,
I'm
and
not
then
into that. I'll just beatbox.
I swear to God, I do the same shit.
yeah, I do that
Because
too.
you have to do it on the spot before it leaves, before that.
You could
inspiration
beatbox it, but then you
leaves.
could record it because of beatbox pattern. You could lose it, and there's this one pattern you love, and I'm like, shit, let me record it real quick on my drum machine, and then I just leave it on there, and then
you get that page.
But what we're
Charles.
talking about, that's production. What we're talking about is when you're not at home.
Yeah.
You're
Not at
not.
home,
You just have to come up with it.
Oh, that's
It's
what I
already
do.
in your head, but just put it down quickly because sometimes you're at lunch or some shit. You got to get back. You just want to put it down quick and just pull it out
Get
real
back.
quick.
that's what I do.
I'm a string musician, so I just write it down, notated.
So you just got the staff paper ready.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that.
I'm not on that level yet.
I got a little.
I'm learning that
I got a
shit.
little
It's tough.
notepad that I keep in my front pocket
not
from
easy,
work, and I just pull it out and I just write it down.
Wow, that's dope.
So,
That is dope. I love it.
Do you read music, Chris, or no?
It's been a minute.
So you
I
just
used
listen
be
to
able
it?
Do you
I listen
read
to
drum,
it now.
Cliff?
Yeah, I have to read drums. I
Yeah.
can definitely read
Notation.
drums. Yeah,
Drum notation.
yeah, I do that. I actually teach.
I
that.
said drum clef like an Indian
drum clef.
Yeah.
It's there. There's a technical word for it.
One of
But I
them.
actually teach drums now, so I gotta definitely learn how to,
The
share
notation.
it with kids.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, kick, drum, hat, snare, cymbals,
It's
toms.
easy. The
Yeah,
drums notation is pretty easy.
Yeah, but not when
Until it's not.
Yeah, when you're looking at the Frank Zappa black page, it's all
Well,
just
Frank Zappa, anything.
It's all
is
just
fucking
ink.
Easy. Yeah.
One big black stain,
It's like, what's this dot? Oh, that's
Why
that
play
Frank
that?
Zappa song.
Exactly. This
Ink
shit's
blot
crazy.
and shit.
Yeah, There's some notation that's just impossible to read, but you get it, you know.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Now that you're older,
Yeah.
and then you're seeing the world through a musician's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you were younger, like when I was younger, like music was such a big mystery. It's like, how do they make Superman fly on TV?
Right.
Kind of shit.
Right.
Do you ever go back to the music that you listened to as growing up, and through your musician's ears now, and find new things that you like about it, or do you find things that you hate about it? Like, oh, this song suck.
To this day, I promise you, I listen to Thriller at least once a week. That is my holy grail of music, right? Quincy Jones captured me with that. And I press play on that record and I listen to every song. And I don't stop that record until I've heard every song. And I'm listening to chord changes. I'm listening to where he put this shaker. Quincy was on this board moving volumes, you know, while it was going. You can actually hear it. If you're paying attention, you can actually hear him.
It's like he had 20 fingers, right?
Oh my God, it was
It's
amazing.
because back in the day they did it live, right? The mix downs.
Then you hear
Yeah,
Michael snapping in the back while he's singing. You hear him clearing his throat.
Yeah.
You hear Michael doing it. Then you hear Janet on PYT.
Yeah.
Right? Then you hear James Ingram and Lionel singing in harmony. Stuff like that comes out when you have the musical ears for it and you hear a kick that's offbeat, but it was supposed to do that. You hear a shaker that only happened once in the whole song, and you listen to it again, there's one shaker that happens through the whole
That's
damn
crazy.
song. And it's a 6-minute song, but you hear that shaker, and I wait for that shaker.
That was the magic. That was the magic of music.
Yeah.
And that was magic of music back then, because like nowadays, it's really like refined.
Right.
And like how they have those programs. What do you call it when they clean up a drum beat towards exactly on tempo?
Quantize.
Quantize. When they quantize a beat,
Yeah.
you lose that shuffle.
You lose the swing sometimes. too.
You lose
Yeah.
you lose a swing.
One of the things, Pharrell, right? Musical genius, has all of that. One of the things that he did on Justin Timberlake's record is he played the drums live, found a loop, right? And just copied that loop. That's
I
all he
love
did.
doing that. I do that
Didn't
myself.
do anything else.
Yep.
Yeah.
He just played it live, copied the loop, and played around that loop. There was no quantizing to that.
Yeah.
It was just a groove right out the gate. And he did that on every record for Justin Timberlake. There was no quantizing. He played drums, copied it, or played it live. That record ended up winning a Soul Train Music Award.
See what I'm saying?
That's how funky that record was.
See, and and when you're quantizing the beat, you lose the funk.
Yeah.
You
And
lose the soul.
Shout out Jay Dilla. That's one of the things he did. He'd move something over, move something back, and there would be this thing
Swing,
that would happen in your body when you listen to that.
Yeah.
When you're listening to, Q-Tip and the rest of them all over Jay Dilla beat, you can't help but bounce around because that's what the music did to you. And he did not believe in quantizing. So nowadays they tighten it up so it's quick. It's 120, it's done, it's in, and it's out.
Yeah.
Right? They don't even play records at length anymore. Right? All the good stuff is at the end.
Yeah.
You'll never hear it, right? Because they won't give you that anymore. These rappers come in, they barely have enough time, spit what they got to spit, repeat till it's over.
Yeah.
Right? And then that song becomes the flavor of the day until somebody else with another little name in front of him comes out with a tattoo across his head and
Or like
calls-
20 tattoos
Yeah.
on his face.
I came up with a song called Yellow Box. I was downstairs working, and yellow box. That's the phrase that popped into my head. So I went home and I made a beat around Yellow Box.
Okay.
That's what I called the song, Yellow Box. And I don't know why to this day. I'm like, why did that shit pop into my head? But I guarantee you, if I gave that to a little somebody, a little pump, a little this, and called it Yellow Box and said it was a yellow box for a Ferrari, that would be the next hottest thing.
It would be the next slang. It would be
Right.
the next term.
I'm in the yellow box. And just imagine the trap beat to that. You got a hit.
He probably remembered that, but he would say, your boss was like, don't forget the yellow box. And you're like, yellow box.
Something. I don't know what the fuck happened. But shit like that, I don't want in my head. I want the Billie Jeans and the Beat It and the PYT and all of that stuff. I want those grooves. I want the chronic. I want, all the
classics.
All the classics. I want boom bap all day long. I need to find that snare. I've spent hours listening for snares that'll fit a song. Right. I go through files. I don't like that snare. I'll choose one just to, the record is dope.
Just to
entertain
it, but
and leave it there. But week later, that snare is gone. There's another one, and I've worked with art. And my artists will tell you this: if I send them the beat, and if I don't like it, they know by the time they come back to the studio, the beat is going to be different. Mm-hmm. It's just a fact. That's how I work. If I don't like it, I'll send it to you. Yeah, you'll have something to write to. But by the time you get back, it's going to be big. It's going to be fat. The snare is going to be different. The groove may be totally different. Yeah. That's how much I need to get into these beats. And sometimes it takes me forever to get that beat back to you because I really want it to sound good.
Because you're setting them a sketch, in other words.
Oh, they get the sketch, but by the time they get back, it's a totally different song.
Right.
And that's just from me.
Now that color's added.
Yeah, it's bigger, it's fatter, it moves, it grooves a little more. Then they got to redo the whole track again. They got to come in and respit it, And it changed. But go ahead. I don't mean to keep rambling. Oh, man, we have to wrap it up. Again, guys, thank you.
Man, thank you.
You guys are
thank
so
you for
fucking dope,
here.
man.
Appreciate it, man.
I appreciate you guys having me. And I gotta do this again, man. This
Most
is just
definitely.
a good
definitely.
feeling to talk about this stuff, man.
Back,
you guys are amazing.
Next time you can bring one of your artists if you want.
Yeah, bring one of your artists
We'll
down.
definitely do
Chop
that.
it up on that.
We'll definitely do that. Y'all be ready for that because
this podcast is like a song where after a certain time people stop listening. So it's like
this is interesting. This is 65, right?
Yeah.
65. Yeah.
Affiliate Entertainment. My guys from the Clika
Podcast.
Podcast. My brothers, thank you. I love
appreciate
all of
you, man.
I love
Thank
all of you, and I love the energy and the vibe you guys give. Thank you for letting me ramble on.
and we'll put your links up on the website and everything.
Absolutely, and I appreciate that. And whatever else I can do for you, let me know.
Appreciate it, man.
All right.
So signing out, Rick here.
Peace.
DJ Mino.
DJ Chris.
El Chris.
Chris One, Affiliate Entertainment boss.
Bahgo 74.
And we're out.
Yeah.
Hey.
Peace, adiós, cabrones.